What's up, everybody? It's MMA Forecast, and today I'll be going over UFC Fight Night Vancouver, DeRidder versus Allen. I will be in attendance for this event, so quite excited for that. Last event I went to was UFC 289, the last one in Vancouver. Charles put in a show, Amanda Nunes retired, and then she came back, so yeah, pretty excited for this one. Decent card overall. Not the greatest card, but I mean, a little Russian made it over the border. Drew Dober's back after losing 3 in a row. Kyle Petrovic, he fought Benoit Saint Denis on short notice. Danny Barlow. Bruno Silva versus Hung Sung Park. That should be a fun, quick fight. Boys are fast. Charles Jourdain versus Dave Grant at bantamweight. Kind of surprised Charles is on the prelims, to be honest, but he hasn't really proved himself at bantamweight yet, so that's a kind of interesting fight, though, too. Then you got Kyle Nelson versus Matt Favola. Favola could get it back on track. That should be another fun fight. And then you got Cody Gibson versus, or I don't even know how to pronounce that, bro, to be honest. No idea. Gibson, both these guys are kind of dust, to be honest. I think it's going to be a fun fight. That's why it's on the main card. Probably not the most skilled fight, but we got a huge matchup in the women's flyweight division. Jasmine versus Manon Fior. The Frenchie versus Canada's best prospect, which is Jasmine. Should be a good scrap. I think Manon Fior is like minus 200 or something around there. So could a little spicy odds on Jasmine. Then you got Marlon Chito Vera versus Eamon Zahabi. Zahabi coming off a win versus Jose Aldo. Now fighting Chito. I'm not sure exactly who fought last, but we'll get into that. Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. Interesting fight. Then obviously the main event. Unfortunate Fluffy got hurt. Kind of sucks. I wish Fluffy was not hurt because I think he's the best in the division other than Hazmat. So I thought that would have been a sick fight, but Brandon Allen, he had a good last fight. Entertaining last fight, so should be a good scrap. I'm going to break down the final 4 fights. So Manon Fior versus Jasmine Jasudavicius out first. I'm not sure who I'm going to take here. I might be biased, Nick the Canadian. Let's look at the tapologies here. Let's look at Manon Fior. I don't know how to pronounce that shit. She's getting a little old. That's the only thing. 35. How old is Jasmine? Jasmine is 36. Oh, I thought she was. Oh, she's old as shit. Damn. Both these girls' times are running out. Unanimous. Beat Branchill there. Beat Rose. Galen Renner. Valentina. Jasmine SB, Jessica Andrade, Bruno Silva. I don't know, just like looking at the type of competition, I think Firo might sneak this one out. Got that championship experience last fight. Hopefully she learned from that and she's gonna bounce back when she get a last. Came back, KO. I think Firo by decision. That's my guess. Not biased at all. Firo by decision is my pick. Okay, now let's get into Marlon Vera versus Eamon Zahabi. Oops. Eamon. Gonna be cool to see Chito in person. Obviously, I've seen him quite a bit. Obviously, I'm a big Sean O'Malley lover, so watching their fights was pretty sick. So it's going to be cool to see Chito versus Eamon. Obviously, Eamon. Did Eamon almost... I think, did Jose Aldo miss weight last time? Canceled. Batista lost to Figueiredo. That was a close fight, though. Sean O'Malley, decision. Pedro Munoz. Corey. A split decision, though, dude. Rob Font. Had 3 L's in the last 4 fights, but against good fighters. Like, I think Davison, I think that was a closer fight, I thought. And then Amon, something happened in the weight last fight. Yeah, they fought at 142 pounds. I think Jose Aldo like missed weight or something. That was a wild fight though. Oh, he fought this guy. KO'd him. Ricky Tercios. This is a tough fight to pick. How old Cheeto? 32. What's the hobby? Even Sahabi is 37. God damn. These boys are old. Man, this is a close-ass fight. When I first looked at it, I was like, Zahabi's got this one. I look at it, I'm like, does he really got this one? This is a really close fight. I think if I were to bet this, it'd be the over rounds, even though it's probably going to be juiced. I don't really know who's going to win this fight, though. Zahabi is old for bantamweight, man. 37 at bantamweight. 37 at bantamweight's pretty insane. Cheetos has insane experience. I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be like a split decision. That's my guess. I don't know who's going to win. Maybe split decision's a hobby. But no, that is a close fight. Okay, moving into the co-main event. You got Kev Holland versus Mikey Malott. Mikey, this guy. Don't want to hear this guy on the mic, so I hope Kev wins. But nah, gotta cheer for the Canadian boy. Kevin Holland, I've watched his interview with Full Send MMA, and he was like brushing Mikey off, just thought he was Jake Matthews. Didn't know anything about him. I don't think Kev's just playing it off too. I feel like he just doesn't give a fuck. This guy fights his 5th fight this year. I feel like he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like, he cares about fighting, but like who he fights, he just doesn't care. They probably like, oh, you're fighting Vancouver. He probably just cared about the date. He probably does not care where he fights, who he fights. This is an insanely close fight. When I first thought about the matchup, my first response was Kevin Holland's going to win. That's my first thing. Just got to look at... Let's break it down a bit, though. D-Rod last. Beat Luque. Luque's washed. Gunner's like 80 years old. Lost RDR. Lost to Delete. Beat. He looked horrible against D-Rod. I don't know. This could be a fucking interesting fight. Then Mikey. He beat Charles Radke. Beat Trevin Giles. And he lost him. And he hasn't fought nearly the same guys as Kevin Holland. Not nearly the same guys as Kevin Holland. And just because of that, I'm going to go Kevin Holland. I'm going to say second or third round KO Kevin Holland. That's my pick. These are straight from the chin, too. I did not, look at anybody's predictions or anything. This is straight out of the brain. No bias here. Oh! We got the main event. Rainer da Ridder. Best name to say in MMA. Versus Brendan Allen. First when I thought about this matchup, when I saw Fluffy got hurt and I was crying on Twitter, I first thought was, Rainer is gonna be like minus 350. That's what I thought as soon as it got announced that Brendan Allen was stepping in. But now, the odds are quite close. He's minus 210. I thought he'd be like minus 350, to be honest. Beat Whitaker. Could have went either way. Very balanced fight. Obviously beat Bo Nickel, Kevin Holland, Gerald. We've been on a run. Brendan Allen is 25-7. He's 29. How old's Rainer? 35. He's getting up there, but it is middleweight. So you're out of your prime, like 38, I think, middleweight. Marlon D lost to Kyle in a grappling match. He lost to Fluffy by decision. He's fought everybody, though. Legit everybody. Strickland. He fought Fluffy twice, eh? I thought, what fight? I thought, after this fight, I was like, oh, he's a serious problem after Paul Craig. And then he, barely beat Chris Curtis and then lost. And then he looked good against Marvin, though. He was fucking chucking nuts. Yeah, it was fight of the night, dude. That was a good-ass fight. But he's fighting Rainer de Ridder now. I don't know who's going to win this one. I'm going to say RDR. Just because Brendan Allen's IQ is horrible. Sometimes he'll be on the back in fights and then just randomly fall or do something dumb and end up on bottom. So I think because of that, I'm going to pick RDR. RDR, how is Brandon Allen? He hasn't really been finished. I don't know. I think RDR by decision or a late TKO. That's my guess. Decision or late TKO. I just think he's going to catch Allen with a knee. He loves those knees. I think he just catches him with a knee. I think Allen, he probably goes down and then just gets finished against the cage. That's my guess. That is my guess. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, of course, and let me know what your guys' predictions for the main event. Thank you guys.